welcome to the Library of Vivec, or what's left of it anyway. I'm Myrlin Sewell, scribe of Vivec, and I'm here to regale you with stories from an old Dunmer with too much time on his hands. So gather around, and I'll tell you about the story of the Eternal Champion and their quest to save the Empire. In the year 370 of the Third Era, a child was born who would one day be known across the Empire. Now, in my old age, I seem to have forgotten their name, and for the life of me I can't seem to find it written down anywhere. But I assure you, their name will become secondary to their feats. What we do know is that the champion was the adopted ward of General Talon Warhaft, who was said to have been like a father figure to them. They were taught how to fight in their home village. Once again, it seems in their infinite wisdom, no one thought to write this home village down, but I digress. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, they were taught to fight by Festral, an elderly warrior. At some point, the champion was summoned to the Imperial Court where they befriended Rhea Silmaine and began to learn the ways of sorcery. During this time, they never seemed to have risen out of the lower ranks of the Imperial Court. The champion's destiny would change in the 389th year of the Third Era, when the treacherous Imperial battle mage Jaeger Tharn would imprison Emperor Uriel Septim VII and several of his guards, including the champion's adoptive father, in a pocket dimension created from the legendary Staff of Chaos. He would then assume the disguise of the Emperor and rule in his place, bending the Empire to his whims. Tharn would kill Rhea Silmaine and imprison the champion in the Imperial dungeons, leaving them to die. Unfortunately for him, Rhea Silmaine, through her mastery of magic, was able to contact and aid the champion from in between the mortal world and the afterlife. She would contact them in their dreams and provide useful advice for fleeing the dungeon, as well as tasking the champion with retrieving pieces of the Staff of Chaos and rescuing the Emperor. After escaping the Imperial dungeons, the champion would journey to Rihad in Amorfell, where Queen Blumbaca would then direct them to the ancient fortress of Stonekeep to recover a piece of parchment that would reveal the location of Fang Lair, the first hiding place of the Staff of Chaos. The champion would delve into the ancient Dwemer mines of Fang Lair and solve riddles that would eventually reveal the first piece of the Staff of Chaos, though it turned to ebony when retrieved, being useless without the others. After retrieving the first piece of the Staff of Chaos, Jaeger Tharn would catch wind of the champion. While Rhea used her magic to mask their identity, it did not stop Tharn from sending his minions to attempt to reclaim the staff. The Eternal Champion is then once again visited by Rhea Silmaine in a dream, and is told to look for the second piece of the staff in an ancient maze known as the Labyrinthian, where the Archmage Shalador was said to have hidden Glamoral, or the Secret of Life. While she could not divine the maze's exact location, she suspected it could not have been far from the Fortress of Ice, where Shalador built his home. She therefore recommended the champion go north into the snowy land of Skyrim to search out the Labyrinthian and retrieve the second staff piece. Eventually, the champion would find themselves in the northern city of Winterhold, where they would discover that the Mages Guild had been broken into, and from it a tablet that would transcribe a piece of the Elder Scrolls containing the location of the Labyrinthian had been stolen. The champion would journey into the Fortress of Ice and retrieve the tablet and subsequently the secret of the location of the Labyrinthian. Upon entering the Labyrinthian's halls, the champion is told a story of two brothers, Kanan the Elder and Magris the Dim, who entered the Labyrinthian in search of Glamoral, despite warnings against it. The champion answered the brothers' riddles and freed their spirits before answering one final riddle and receiving the second piece of the Staff of Chaos. Jaeger Tharn, furious at this development, sent his minions once again to retrieve the pieces the champion had gathered. Emerging triumphant once more, the champion was visited by Rhea Silmaine again, this time directing them to the Elden Grove, the supposed birthplace of the first tree in Tamriel. The champion would then journey to Elden Root in Valenwood, where Queen Eulandra offers the closely guarded secret of the Elden Grove in exchange for the champion dealing with a sorceress named Selene, who was threatening the peaceful way of life of her people. The champion then set off to Selene's Web to recover Selene's heart, a crystal imbued with her power that Queen Eulandra would attempt to leverage for peace with her. After retrieving the crystal and returning to Eulandra, the champion would receive the location of the Elden Grove. Venturing into the mysterious forest, the champion would emerge with the third piece of the Staff of Chaos. Tharn would once again send his minions after the champion, and once again they would fail to slay the hero. After being visited in a dream, the champion would learn their next target lies in the halls of the Colossus. At length, the champion would find themselves in Corinth in the province of Elsewhere. There they would stumble upon the Mages Guild, where the guildmaster, Turamain Apcolthus, informs them that the tablet needed to decipher the location of the halls of the Colossus was stolen and brought to the Temple of Agamemnus. The champion once again is victorious, and the way to the halls would be revealed. The champion would gather the 6 keys within the halls of the Colossus and successfully recover the 4th piece of the staff. Tharn, furious at this development, would again send his minions after the champion to no avail. After their next rest, Rhea Silmaine would tell the champion to search for the Crystal Tower for the next piece of the staff, tracking the location to Lilandril, where the Mages Guild would once again prove to be the key. There, the lore master Coram Ashlyn directed the champion to the Temple of the Mad God, where a crystal that could divine the location of the Crystal Tower was stolen away to. Seeming like an unstoppable force, the champion would retrieve the crystal and make their way up the Crystal Tower, retrieving the 5th piece of the staff. Jaeger Tharn would once more try to stop the champion, and once more he would fail. After the Crystal Tower, the champion would be visited by Silmaine again, this time being directed to the Crypt of Hearts. Tracking it to the Brotherhood of Seth in Camlorn High Rock, the champion would once again have to brave a dungeon to retrieve the location of the hiding place. A member of the Brotherhood, Halphus Varn, would tell the champion that one of the junior members went mad, talking about how the Emperor was a fraud and fled to the mines of Kuras. The champion would eventually find the junior member's body and retrieve the location of the Crypt of Hearts. At some point throughout their journey, although it is unclear when, the champion would begin to seek out rumors of ancient artifacts throughout Tamriel, retrieving them and using them on their quest. The Crypt of Hearts was full of undead monstrosities, but none have proved tough enough to take down the champion. With the 6th piece of the Staff of Chaos in hand, the champion would leave the crypt triumphant. Jaeger Tharn, growing desperate, would continue to throw minions at the champion, but all would fail. For the final time, Rhea Silmaine would visit the champion in their dreams. Directed to the forest of Mirkwood, the champion would find themselves in the city of Stormhold in Blackmarsh, where they would be directed to the Conclave of Baal, where the Conclave's leader, Idolin Lancaster, informed them that one of the junior members cast a disastrous spell that destroyed the vaults of Gemin, where the location of Mirkwood was hidden. Not deterred, the champion would venture into the vaults and retrieve the location. They would then brave the mists of Mirkwood and recover the 7th piece of the Staff of Chaos. Tharn, outraged, would reveal the location of the final piece of the staff, the stronghold of Dagoth-Ur in the heart of Red Mountain. Finding the entrance to the stronghold was another matter, however. In the city of Ebonheart in Morrowind, the king, Kasich, would tell the champion that if they were to retrieve the Hammer of Garen, he could strike the Anvil of Mythos and reveal the location. Successfully returning with the hammer from the Black Gate, the champion would then get the location of the final piece. Going into the depths of Red Mountain, the champion would retrieve the final piece of the Staff of Chaos, making it whole once again. Unfortunately, Jaeger Tharn would reveal that the staff is useless in its current state, as its power had been connected to a jewel held in the Imperial Palace, directly under the guard of Tharn himself. Ever the brave adventurer, the champion would walk directly into the Imperial Palace, slaying hordes of Tharn's monstrous Imperial Guard and eventually facing off with Tharn himself. Finding themselves unable to kill Tharn, the champion would retrieve the crystal from within the dungeons, causing Tharn to scream out.
"You must not! The jewel holds my life force!"
Tharn would perish, and the Emperor would be freed. The hero would be proclaimed the eternal champion by the Emperor and would continue to serve the Empire. After this, the champion's story becomes less clear. The chaos of the remaining years of the Third Era would cloud history's knowledge of the eternal champion. But one thing is for sure, the actions of the eternal champion would leave a mark on Tamriel for generations. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. Fret not, for I have plenty more to tell. Come visit again any time, and remember to stay safe in your journeys throughout Tamriel.